folks. Today we are reviewing the movie Tusk by Kevin Smith. Now, okay, so Kevin Smith is the director. And I need to get something out of the way before we continue. I feel obligated to say that I in no way, shape, or form hate Kevin Smith. In case, he were to ever actually stumble upon this. Kevin Smith, I love you, and I mean everything that I'm going to talk about today in the most loving possible way. Okay? So, let's talk about this movie.
Where the hell do we even start?
I don't know.
Why does Google put height in meters?
What?
I want to know what his height is.
Okay, so Soul is off doing his own thing here.
Okay, he's 5'6", in case you guys were curious.
Who is?
Kevin Smith.
Okay.
Sorry.
Why did you need to know his height?
Because I didn't know who it was, so I searched it up. And then I got distracted by his height.
So Kevin Smith is the director of Clerks.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
So he's strictly like nerd culture. Like if there is anything nerd, Kevin Smith is at the forefront of it.
Mm-hmm.
He is absolutely everything nerd. He was like the director of Clerks, all the Clerks movies. He also did like a reality TV show about comic books, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's where I know him from, is that he did like Comic Book Guys, or whatever the heck it was called.
Yeah, it's like Comic Book Guys. He's basically the forefront of nerd culture.
That's why I don't know him.
So, but, I mean, I like Kevin Smith, but as soon as I saw that he was the director of this movie, I immediately knew that it was going to be bad.
I saw that the original director was supposed to be Quentin Tarantino, and who knows what happened, and it became Kevin Smith.
Quentin Tarantino was just like, you know what, no, fuck this. I'm not doing this no more. Kevin Smith, here you go.
Like, how do you go from Quentin Tarantino to Kevin Smith?
I don't know. But Kevin Smith was probably so excited to do it. So, but yeah, as soon as I saw that it was Kevin Smith, I knew it was going to be awful. But I knew it was going to be like that so awful that it's good type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was funny too, which is, see, if they'd had anybody, right, I really don't, I wouldn't consider it a horror movie, honestly. It's basically Human Centipede Walrus Edition.
Yep.
That's but like, I couldn't get past the fact that Kevin Smith was in the movie, so I went into it immediately with bias.
I just knew the main dude is the dude that voiced Humphrey and Alpha and Omegas, and that was my bias. I couldn't get past the kid movie voice, you know?
Justin Long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know Justin Long, and this is going to show the difference between us and what kind of movies we watch. When I hear Justin Long's name, I immediately think Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Okay,
yeah.
that's the first thing I think of, and the second thing I think of is Live Free or Die Hard. But
I think of Dodgeball.
yeah, Dodgeball.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
You haven't seen Jeepers Creepers?
Movies alone. No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, that's upsetting.
I don't do scary
Jeepers
things.
Creepers.
Oh my gosh. So now we gotta watch that.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be on our list.
So, all
Surprise,
right.
this podcast is just gonna be Justin Long.
Yeah, everything we do from now on, just Justin Long movies. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I'm excited for the Alpha and Omegas.
So what did you guys think of the movie?
Scarring?
I was gonna say, yeah, the first time I watched it through, like, when it pans over to him first in the walrus suit, I had to stop the movie and, like, walk away and be like, what the hell did I just watch? And then I looked and there was still like 30 minutes left, and I'm like, what the hell is gonna happen? And the more it went, the more I was like, what drug did I take before watching this?
I think it would have been better if you did take some drugs before watching it.
Okay, so I feel like we should explain what this movie is about. Does anybody want to do that, or shall I?
You have the honors. Go ahead.
Okay, so this movie is about a podcaster. So like he
What's the podcast called again?
the Nazi
No.
Party. So the podcast group that he has, Justin Long, in this movie, is called the Nazi Party, like Notsee. And that right there was the biggest mistake that he could have made. Absolutely the biggest mistake. But side note, I loved...
Going to Canada might have been a big mistake, but you
And bumfuck nowhere, Manitoba, what?
But, like, side note, I loved how when they called the police were taking them seriously
Spell it.
up until they said the Nazi Party. And the dude was like, spell it, no, spell it, spell it!
I forgot about the reason, like, why they even went to Canada with the boy
It
and
was
the video.
to talk to the boy, but then
Yeah.
like, they come to Canada and the boy's dead. How did he die? Like, it was never brought up. Like,
No, he committed suicide.
Yeah,
he
they
did?
said it at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
was too distracted.
he goes to Canada to interview this kid who, like, chopped his leg off on accident.
The samurai sword.
Yeah, with a samurai sword. And he's going to interview him for his podcast because he interviews weird people and, you know, quote-unquote freaks. I hate that term. But, like, so he goes there, and then he finds out that the kid has committed suicide. And, you know, because it's Justin Long, so he's got to play that up. He calls him a selfish jerk and all kinds of shit. Which, honestly, if, you know, I was the kid, I probably wouldn't... You know, I would be depressed too.
Well, they were making fun of him, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the
like hardcore.
podcast.
Like
And I think they said at
hardcore.
one point that, like, he killed himself because of, like, the
Yeah.
bullying and shit.
Yeah.
I
So
think
sorry, the most unrealistic part is that the kid turned down Oprah.
right.
Yeah,
Who the
like
fuck is
what?
gonna turn down Oprah?
To go nuts.
Okay, I would turn down Oprah. I don't like Oprah. That's another story, though.
So like, he goes there and the kid is dead, and he finds out. And but the way he finds out is he walks to the house and they're having a memorial service, and he just immediately blurts out in the middle of this memorial service, "Fuck!" And everybody stares at him. So, at this point, right, he doesn't have a story anymore, so he's either got to find a new story or he's got to go home. Which, you know, okay, finding a new story is one thing, but he's in a public restroom at a gas and sip. Like a five and dime, like the shittiest, literally the shittiest gas station that you can be in. And it's hanging on the wall by the urinal. Red flag number 1. Okay? And it's talking about this guy who has all of these crazy stories that he can, like, tell, which, you know, okay, cool. So he goes to this guy's house, and the thing, if I recall correctly, which I've watched this movie a dozen times now, he's looking for a roommate, like the dude is, right?
Yeah, I think he's looking for
He's
something
looking-
like to help him around the house.
To do
Yeah.
chores and stuff. Okay, hold up. This man, right? Okay, like the dude that owns the house is looking for a roommate. He's wearing a really nice suit, okay? Multiple pieces to the suit. He can't do house chores, but he can make himself look nice, you know?
Well, I think
That's unbelievable to me.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're right, and
I would have been sketched out by that.
I mean, it's Justin Long. Do you
True.
think he's that observant? But so,
We also-
go ahead.
His character's name is Wallace.
Right,
And the
right,
dude turns him into a walrus.
right. That alone
Wordplay.
pissed me off. I don't know why it pissed me off, but as soon as I heard his name the first time, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
they couldn't come up with something creative.
Exactly.
Close to walrus.
His name's that right there had to be Kevin Smith. That was all Kevin Smith right there. So he goes to this he goes to this house after the Canadian girls make fun of him for being an American, which
I just
was
want to say the
fun.
two actresses, that was Lily Rose Depp as well as Harley Quinn Smith, and I love that.
Wait, actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I did not pick up on that.
Because I knew that the one was Kevin Smith's daughter, Harley Quinn, but then when I figured out that the guy later on is Johnny Depp, and then I was like, wait, Lily Rose Depp is in this too? And then I just pieced it together that she was the one girl at the gas station, and I was like, whoa, okay.
So he goes, right, like, goes to this house, and he says, "Hey, I'm not really interested in, living here. I just want to pick your brain and hear your stories for my podcast." Cool beans. And this guy is in a wheelchair, okay? And so he can't do all these things. But he ends up starting to tell these stories all the while Wallace... God, I'm going to have to call him Justin. All the while, he's drinking this tea. Now, I don't know how big tea is in the Canadas. Is it a big thing in the Canadas?
Canadas.
In the Canadas. Well, I mean, it depends on where you are. I mean,
In
Not
bumfuck... Wait, where was it located?
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
I can't remember.
Like
Yeah,
2
it's
hours
Manitoba.
from Winnipeg. I love how when he calls them, he's like, "Yeah, I'm in the bumfuck nowhere." Like all of Manitoba is bumfuck nowhere. What are you talking about? Like that could be anywhere.
I'm
But
sorry,
yeah.
we are about to lose all Manitobian. I don't know what they're called, but we're about to lose
Manitobians.
all listeners if we ever had a chance to get them.
Well, whenever someone talks about Canada, you don't talk about Manitoba.
No, the first thing I think of is Quebec, honestly.
And that's where Johnny Depp's character is from. Okay, that's a whole nother subject. Don't get me started on that right now. Okay, we gotta come back.
So he's drinking this tea, right? And it's got the it's got some kind of narcotic in it that it's like a sleeping pill. And he's drinking the tea, and all of a sudden he passes out. And the dude blames it on a brown recluse. Okay, first issue that I want to talk about before we go anywhere else. Has anyone ever been bitten by a brown recluse?
I have no idea what that is. I mean, it's a
I've had
spider, and I hate
friends who have-
spiders, but no.
And that does not happen.
Yeah, okay, so a brown recluse, basically their bite kind of eats away at your flesh. Okay? It does not paralyze you, and it does not cause you to pass out. I have been bitten by one, and antibiotics. Literally, that was it. I didn't even know it was a brown recluse bite until I saw the big black dot
Yeah.
on my arm.
You didn't have to get amputated?
No, I did not have to get amputated.
How dare this movie lie to me?
So, he blames it on the brown recluse bite, and whenever Justin's character Wallace wakes up, he doesn't have his legs. Does he have one leg? No, he doesn't have either of his legs.
No, he has one leg.
Does he have one leg?
He cut off one leg, and when he wakes up, he starts explaining to him like that they had to amputate the leg. That the
Yeah,
spider
okay.
bit.
Okay. So he's missing one of his legs, and, you know, at this point, Wallace is freaking out, like, and says he needs to call his girlfriend, or wife? Was it the wife or the girlfriend? I think it was girlfriend, wasn't it?
I think it's girlfriend.
I think it's girlfriend.
Yeah. So he has to call her, and the dude says, well, the doctor took all the phones out of the house because he didn't want to disturb you. Okay, the fuck? Like, what?
Okay, the part that I was like, what? He was like, it's much better if you stay here. It's much more sterile here at my house than here at the hospital. I was like, okay, what?
Yeah, right? Like,
Sure, there are probably some spots in hospitals, so, you know, maybe a little questionable, but this old man's house is definitely not more sanitized, sterilized, disinfected.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. And there just so happens to be a doctor right down the road.
Right. That mysteriously and magically never shows up.
Yeah.
The whole damn time.
And his first solution is amputate the leg.
Right. Right. Oh, you were bit by a spider? Amputate.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We're not trying anything else. Amputate that damn thing.
Me when I find a spider in my house, burn it to the ground.
So this goes on for a while, and okay, so we'll just cut to the chase. He's not helping him out by, you know, protecting him after he got his leg amputated. No, he cut the damn leg off so that he could turn him into a literal fucking walrus. Okay, he's doing all of these surgeries to turn him into a walrus. And he's successful. I don't know how else to describe this other than he looks like a giant blob of fleshy meat with saliva running down his face.
I thought he looked like an uncircumcised
Okay, but
penis.
I think the worst part about it
Oh my goodness. I thought he looked like a mutant from this game.
I will never be able to unsee that now. Thank you, Bray.
Sorry, what?
His head would just keep, like, disappearing into the body, like...
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, his head would, like, suck in. Okay, so you're right. It did look like an uncircumcised penis. Thank you, I will never be able to unsee that. Justin Long, the big uncircumcised cock.
Oh my god! Gotta use the medical terms here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, YouTube.
Can we talk about the fact that, like, when he first goes to the house, and they're, like, in, like, the dining room, like, not in the dining room, but in the room talking, and the dude points out, like, the walrus
Penis?
cockbone. Yeah, penis bone. And he holds that thing for so long.
He actually passed out with it. I was gonna say
Yeah,
that.
he passed out with it in his hand still.
This
Like,
walrus dick in his hand.
like, why was he holding it so long after he knew what it was? And he, like, was pretending to, like, jerk it off?
I mean, yeah, that's Kevin Smith and Justin Long for you, right?
Like, jeez.
Yeah, I can't tell you how long, Soul kept on yelling at the TV about how long he kept on holding this thing. Like, he was like, why is he still holding it? Put it down!
Why are you still holding it?
Like, honestly, that's just so uncomfy.
No, but I did want to point something out before we get too far into this. I did notice a lot of, like, meta in this movie. Like, there was references to all kinds of different movies. But it wasn't really like obvious meta. It was like subtle references. So, like, the first thing that I noticed in this movie, and, like, the first watch that I noticed, other than, you know, the fact that it was as fucking bad as I thought it was going to be. But when he's telling what is the dude's name again? Not
Like the old
Wallace.
man?
Yeah, the old man.
God, I
Starts
was
with an
mad.
H,
Something.
but it's a fake name though.
Yeah, something so ridiculous.
It was two H's, so you know it's fake because it's an alliteration.
Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Don't diss my Stan Lee like that.
Howard
Parker.
Howe.
Yes, yeah.
But you know what? We're just gonna call him Peter Parker.
Okay.
No, we can actually.
I can't remember his name now.
Howard Howe?
Howard Howe.
Howard Howe, that was it. Yeah,
I literally
Howard Howe.
just said it to you.
Sorry, I didn't hear you the first time.
It's okay.
Okay, so his name is Howard, and like when he's telling some of his stories, he makes a reference to Jaws. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but he actually made like a
I've never
complete.
seen Jaws.
Oh my gosh, so.
I've seen Sharknado though.
Oh, yeah, totally.
All of
like,
them.
equal out. Oh.
You have seen Sharknado, but not Jaws.
Yes.
Oh my God! All of them.
Yes.
You're
all
out.
of them.
Get out.
I've sat through all of them.
So he actually makes a reference to Jaws when he talks about a shark that he saw. He said 25 feet in length, 3 tons on him, is what he said in the movie. Now that is a reference to the quote that Quint's character in Jaws, whenever they first see the Great White, not Brody, but the shark expert guy, I can't think of his name right now, it'll come to me in a minute, but he says that's a 20-footer. And then Quint says 25, 3 tons on him. So that was the first thing that I noticed in the movie, is that they kind of did some subtle meta stuff. I know it's not entirely meta, but it was kind of interesting to me that Kevin Smith would go that route. Anyway, fun little fact.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I didn't get the reference at the time, but for some reason I did have like a sense of Jaws when he was like talking at some point, like about that story.
Well, of course, as soon as you think of a shark, the first thing you think of is Jaws.
I was just gonna say, did you just hear shark and you were like, Jaws?
Well, no, I mean, that whole story it's kind of in the mood of when Quint is telling the story about the Indianapolis in Jaws.
Yeah.
Like, when he's talking about you go in the water, sharks in the water, our shark. You know, when he's talking about all the people who were dying on the Indianapolis from the shark, it kind of had that, like,
Yeah.
identical vibe to it, which I thought was really cool.
Are you actually saying there was something cool about this movie? And that
Yes,
you were
I am.
impressed
I'm
with something?
sorry. I'm sorry. Spank me later, but there were there were some cool parts to the movie.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Jeez.
You see, it's such a bad movie, but if someone said, hey, should I watch it? I'd be like, you
Yes.
bet, go watch it.
Honestly, literally with anything with Johnny Depp in, I'll say watch it. I love
Oh,
Johnny
absolutely. I would recommend people watch the movie, like, no doubt, no question.
Depp.
But
It's very hilarious.
yeah.
Especially from a Canadian standpoint. Oh, teeth failed.
So, like, how accurate was, like, the accents of, like, Johnny Depp and all of them, Canadian style?
Oh, horrible.
Horrible, I figured.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Horrible, but also at the
for a
same
character
time,
that's from
this was
Quebec,
scary accurate to
it was
what
okay.
Canada's
It was
like.
pretty good. Like the way that he was speaking it was pretty okay. I mean, I'm not from Quebec, so like I only know from like people, like from talking to a very few amount of Quebec people. But like just the things that he said were like no, no, they wouldn't have said that. Like, he says poutine instead of poutine, and everyone from Quebec says poutine. And I love how his name was also Guy, spelt Guy, which is very, like, cliche French person name in Quebec. He also says Quebec instead of Quebec. Oh my god, the one thing that... Yeah, Quebec. The thing that, like, really bothered me was the fact that when they're in the car and he asks them, like, if they have any, like, coffee or anything for the drive, he says that he likes his coffee double, 8 sugars and a splash of milk. Double. Double in itself is, like, 2 cream and 2 sugar. If you want it with milk, it'd be 2 milk, 2 sugar. But he says 8 sugar. That's a milk. Like, that's not double then.
So, I need to bring science into this.
Oh.
Not science.
Okay, so, again, Kevin Smith, no disrespect intended, my man. Like, I have mad respect for you for being, like, the forefather of nerd culture and shit. But,
Stanley is shaking in his grave. My god.
Okay, so the modern founder, or the modern head of nerd culture, or whatever, but this is not possible. Okay, I don't care how much of it is part of the suit, it's literally not possible. Everything about this was not possible. You cannot turn...
If you try hard enough.
No, it's literally not. You cannot turn someone into a fucking walrus. You can't.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well,
was
like,
thinking about it kind of anatomy-wise as well throughout, but I was just kind of getting past that and thinking this is a comedy horror movie. We're not going to think too much into it.
can we talk about the fact, like, you know, like the scene where, like, he makes him swim? How did he not drown? How did he get him back up onto that platform?
I don't know.
Question.
It was never shown.
That's a good question.
But how? There's no way that he didn't drown. See, that was my biggest fear with the movie, is I hate water. Water terrifies me. As soon as he, like, pulled me into the water, no, I would have given up. That would have been my end game.
So, like, my first run-through of the movie, I was like, why isn't he, like, screaming for help or something? But then my second run-through, I heard him talk about, or explain, that Johnny Depp's character explained it. He removes the tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I was about to say, like, why doesn't he talk? Is it... He removed...
Yeah, the doctor says it in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't listen. I don't have comprehension skills.
So, at the very end of this movie, so it turns out that, like, the reason he's trying to turn him into a fucking walrus is because he, like, befriended when he was stranded on an island or something. He befriended a walrus.
Sorry, we should specify that the old guy, the
old
Howard
guy,
Howe.
Yeah.
He was
Howard Howe,
One
like,
of his many adventures, he went to this island and he almost died, but then
No,
he found this.
No, he was on a ship, and the ship, it was like the ship went down, and that's when he was in the water with the shark, and then he ended up getting saved by the walrus, and he becomes friends with the walrus, and then I guess he got hungry, and he ended up killing the walrus and eating it, and then he was saved off the island. So the reason why he wants to make someone a walrus is that he can have an even fight, because his original walrus friend didn't fight him back, so he's like, it's not fair.
yeah,
So he wants to make someone a walrus so it's a fair fight.
yeah.
Because he has a walrus kink, and he just can't let go.
He's got a fucking walrus kink. Oh,
God,
That
the
dude
first
was
time I
making way
watched
too many times, okay?
Yeah, I really thought that was gonna come up the first time I watched it. Like, that he had sex with it or something. Like, it was gonna be something fucking weird.
honestly, if that came up, I don't know if I could have finished it.
Yeah.
That's why he saved the walrus dick Because he was just waiting for, like, the
Oh my
final
God.
person that survived the swim.
Oh,
And then he would have been like, final surgery. You ready?
oh my god. No. Oh.
So, he...
I am now picturing it and I hate it.
Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Alright, time for the piece de resistance. Are you ready to be fitted with your walrus dick? And just see Justin Long's face in that fucking uncircumcised penis.
Uncircumcised penis. Full body shaking.
So that's by the way, that's how he like is screaming in this after he's been fully transitioned into the walrus. He sounds like a grunting buff bodybuilder trying to bark or some shit like Anyway, so he sets up this fight, and Howard is now in a full-blown walrus suit, so that it's like a one-on-one walrus versus walrus type fight.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's important to add in, this guy has apparently killed like 20 people, so
Right?
he has plenty of skin to make these suits. At the
Yeah.
bottom of the pool, there was other corpses of other people that have been turned
Walruses.
into
Yeah.
walruses. So this isn't the first time this has happened.
Right.
It's just the first time we've had Wallace the Walrus. So
I think it's pointed out that no one made it past the first swim test other than
yeah.
Justin's character,
But how
right?
did he make it past though? Is it because like clearly he moves his fins to like to swim, but like
Moves
there's
his
no
fins.
way that he could. There's no way he could have lifted his fat ass up there. Okay, no. Make it make sense. How did he win?
I don't know. But anyway, somehow he survives the swim test, so that makes him worthy of the fight or whatever. And
But not
So-
worthy of the dick.
this fight on its own, the fight is just too much for me. I died laughing at how sad this was. Like those two bumping heads in their fucking penis outfits.
Okay, but what's the old man naked under the suit? That's my question. Like, was he wearing clothes?
Didn't he get out of it at the like
He did
Yeah,
towards the middle of
was,
the
I
fight?
was he naked? I can't
was-
remember if he was
I
fully
think he
naked.
was in
or if he was-
underwear. But
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think he was fully
okay.
naked.
When he went
Okay,
swimming,
good.
though, he was
When he went
naked.
swimming, he was naked.
Swimming
Yes, he
around
was.
with Wallace.
Forget
So
the walrus
uncomfortable.
suit. That old man was the most disgusting part.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, probably.
So, but all this is happening while his girlfriend and his podcast friend are rushing to his aid to try to save him with Johnny Depp, the drunken ex-cop.
Drunken ex-cop. He wasn't drunk, right? He wasn't
Yes, he
drunk.
was.
He was
Wasn't it?
perma-drunk.
He put liquor in a fucking, like,
Oh yeah, he
milkshake.
did. Oh,
Yeah,
he did.
the dude was
I forgot.
perma-drunk.
He
Okay,
freaking had a
Did he
flask.
have a lazy eye? Because at first that's the old. Like, I just wanted to look up who's the actor. Like, do they actually have a lazy eye? And that's how I figured out that it was Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he did not look like Johnny Depp when I first
No,
saw
he
him on
did
screen.
not.
I was like, he looks familiar. Who is that?
And speaking of the friends, okay, so I want to point something out. He somehow gets his phone, like when
Yeah, the dude just left his phone out.
yeah,
for
the
him.
dude just leaves his phone out, and so Justin's character Wallace gets the phone, and instead of calling the cops, you call your girlfriend and your friend.
Yeah, your girlfriend that you're cheating on.
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
Like, and they knew that he was cheating. and,
Yeah.
like his friend knew. Like, my god.
Like-
No, I would not be calling my friend if I was the terrible person. I would definitely be calling the police first.
I don't care if I was a saint to them. If someone's trying to turn me into a fucking penis walrus, I'm calling the cops. That's the literally the first thing I'm doing is dialing 911. Canada has
true.
911, right?
That's what
But
I want to know.
yeah, but he
Okay.
was in Canada, so like he wouldn't have known like specifically who to call. Because like if he has an American phone and he calls 911, is that gonna like directly go to like the
That's
cops
what I'm
in his area?
Well, it
How does
bounces off
911
the
work?
it bounces off the towers that you're on. So like
Okay.
if you
So,
call 911 in, let's say you're in a specific county, it's going to when you dial 911, it's going to dial 911
then
for
how do
that
you
county.
call the wrong county?
I'm sorry,
Because-
I'm still just
I'm
thinking
sorry.
back to
What?
yeah, we're going back a long time ago to Ice's experience with the wrong county.
Yeah,
I don't
how do you
know how
call the
that
wrong
happened. Oh,
county?
I don't know how that happened, okay? We just story for another time, okay? We'll figure that out later. For context, for anybody who's watching this, I witnessed a car accident a while back, and I called 911, and the dude was like, okay, well, you called 911 for this county. Let me go ahead and transfer you to the other county. Anyway.
You know, you just watched a car crash, but you called the wrong county, so this isn't any use.
Yeah.
Just let me transfer you over it.
Yeah.
You know, the operator couldn't be any help to you.
But, like, I'm not calling my friends. I'm calling 911.
True, but like he also like, I don't know. He was very much American, doesn't know anything about Canada, so I'm sure he wouldn't have guessed that we have 911. Probably thought it was like a different number or something. So
Yeah.
okay, maybe we can give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, because some places do have different numbers than 911.
Okay. I mean, if you say so, if you want to give him the benefit
But
of the
still.
doubt.
Still, I wouldn't be calling my friends. Actually, maybe I would call my friends because social anxiety. I can't talk to police officers. I'll call my
I
friends.
think
"Hey,
if you're being
can you
turned
call
into a
911 for
walrus,
me?"
you would literally walk up to Howard and be like, "Hey, you left my phone. Can you call
Can you
911
call
for me?"
someone for me? I can't.
I
As soon
have
as it starts
anxiety.
ringing, I'm gonna throw up. So can you please call 911 for me?
So let's be honest, you wouldn't have made it that far.
No, honestly, I wouldn't have even gone to the house in the first place because I wouldn't have been able to call him because Wallace first calls Howard and it's like, "Hey, is it cool if I like come to your house?" I wouldn't have been able to call Howard in the first place, so this wouldn't have happened.
So you're safe. Anxiety saves us.
Yeah, the one thing to save you from horror movies: just have anxiety, okay? You hear a sound, you're not gonna go to it because you got anxiety.
But like, so towards the end, they're like fighting, and Wallace ends up killing him. Like,
Sorry, I'm just thinking about something. This could have been me because last December I literally had the experience just like this. Old person tells me to come to their house because they need some help with chores, and I had no one else around me. Like, I was in the middle of nowhere.
When the fuck was this?
I literally did that for 2 months.
wait, you went?
Of course they went.
I'm assuming this is obviously before you saw the movie Tusk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, knowing what you know now about psychos in the middle of nowhere, would you do the same?
Yes, they
maybe
would.
not. Okay,
No,
I
they
mean,
would.
I make great money, so maybe, but...
Hey, if you want to kill me, it's okay. Just like pay me good money, and then you can do whatever you want. You know. You gotta pay me up front though, so I can at least buy something fancy to die in.
Damn.
So, he ends up killing him right as his friends are coming through the door to save him. And, you know, he's like, like, it's clear he's lost all humanity whatsoever. He is now full-blown walrus, apparently. Okay, I don't know how you would lose all of your humanity in, 3 days? Like,
Honestly, with how humanity is, I don't blame them.
I don't know. Let's test it. Let's put you in a walrus suit and see how long it takes you to lose your
Okay, but they're gonna
sanity.
put me in a tiny ass zoo like what they did to him. No, thank you.
Oh,
That's
I
what.
know.
Oh my god. So, let's set aside the fact that they see him and their first initial thought is to shoot him.
Honestly, shoot me. Shoot me. Why did they not shoot him?
Yeah.
So you.
Johnny Depp's character had his gun aimed. Just pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. It's okay.
So you would want to be killed at this point.
Yes.
You
Yes.
could be, like, saved, and that's what I don't get. They put him in a zoo.
There's
and
no way
he-
they could have saved him.
I like that they still had a bunch of his gas station cups in the cage. Like they
That
still
is
had drinks
why.
out of it.
Like, why was the gas station cup so relevant throughout the movie?
I
Like,
don't
wouldn't that be
know.
like
He
trauma
loved his
inducing?
silly big gas station drinks.
Yeah. And they go to
Oh.
visit him in this tiny-ass little zoo.
And throw him a fish.
Yeah, they throw him a
Yeah.
raw fish, and he just devours it. And
But like
Okay.
the zoo is also like not where he's from. Like it's still in Manitoba. Like
yeah,
he doesn't
Yeah.
even get to go home.
Who
But-
the hell is going to this zoo other than them?
Right?
Other than the friend
How did they
and the
advertise
friend?
it?
Yeah.
and
Like,
he does-
imagine,
Our
just like, hey,
talking
you know,
walrus.
you just casually go to your local zoo and you see this
Yeah.
thing. Terrified.
God.
See, Canada's. It's like,
oh my god. Now I'm just picturing, like, a family taking their children to the zoo. And, like, Mommy, let's go see the walrus. You just see Justin Long. Mommy,
It was
what's wrong with the walrus?
It's his mating call. Don't worry.
Honestly, I don't know how.
Top
So
five,
I know
five zoos in Canada.
So, I know that Kevin Smith is loaded. Like, he is absolutely rich. And that begs the question, he had to have used some of his own money to make this movie. Had to. There is no way this movie had budget enough to get both Justin Long and Johnny Depp.
Wait. Kevin Smith is loaded. Do you think he needs a walrus? Cause like I can bark.
Does Kevin Smith have a walrus kink? But, like, there is no way he didn't use some of his own money, right? Because that was my biggest issue at the end of this movie, other than the whole movie itself. Like, how did they have the budget after everyone saw this script? After any funding and
Clearly, they
kickstart
still
people.
got the funding. Well, Quentin Tarantino was the director, and so the person was like, "Yeah, totally. Here's the money." And then they were like, "Haha, let's switch Kevin Smith," and that's where they got the money.
But like, even with Quinn, I don't understand how someone could look at that script and say, "This is a good investment."
You know, I feel like I feel like they could have made it a horror movie. They could have made it good.
They could have,
You know.
if they would have toned down the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
The ridiculousness is what made it not good.
I just
talk about amazing of a movie.
I love when Johnny Depp's character is talking about how like he actually had a conversation with Howard Howe, and it pans to their like conversation, and how Howard's character is talking like how he's like he like helps out with the hockey league in the area
Yeah.
for kids. I just love how like that's this distinction of between the good people in Canada. They help out with their local hockey league. And he's like, oh, okay, well I
You
can't help
seem
you
like
with
a
your spider,
stand-up guy."
but I'm just gonna leave. You're definitely not the serial killer.
And I don't know if anybody caught this, and I doubt that Kevin Smith is... Again, Kevin Smith, if you ever see this, I love you. Okay? I really love you. But I don't see Kevin Smith being smart enough to do this. but whenever he was talking to him in the flashback, I got the like to see homos naked guy from the Adam
What?
Sandler movies. I don't know,
Which Adam Sandler movies?
or not Adam
No,
Sandler, Joe
Joe
Dirt.
Dirt.
Joe Dirt,
Oh, I
yeah.
was about
Sorry,
to say, like,
not
I've seen Adam Sandler movies,
Like,
and I do not remember that.
like, home is where you make it. I got mad vibes of that
Like to
from
see
him.
homos naked?
Yeah. No, home where you make it. Yeah, you like to see homos naked, man. That's cool. I mean,
That's a mood.
no, home. Everybody knows that. Home. That was the vibe that I got from him in that flashback. And as I said, Kevin Smith I know is not smart enough to make that connection. However, it just reminded me of that. Again, love you, Kevin Smith. But in one of the flashbacks, one of Wallace's flashbacks, he's playing foosball, and I just kind of got to make a side note here because this was literally how sad. This is how sad this is. This was literally the most impressive part about this movie to me. They played foosball correctly in that flashback.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
So impressive.
I was
There's a wrong way to play foosball?
Yes.
for this movie. The security guy is the guy from Epic Meal Time. Do
Really?
you guys like
What?
ever remember that YouTube channel?
No. Well, now I'm gonna
Vaguely.
search it up. Wait, what like the security, like the Canadian security guy?
Yeah. Damn. Like, how did they manage to get all these like actually somewhat known people?
That's what I'm saying. There is no way someone looked at this movie and thought it was a good investment. I cannot imagine this movie having more than like a $500,000 budget. Can't imagine it.
I need to find out.
But Johnny
what was
Depp
the
loves
budget.
doing like foolish movies, so I'm sure Johnny Depp wasn't the problem. But like the other people, like
I guess. But Justin Long plays some like good ass movies. Like Live Free or Die Hard. Okay, not the best Die Hard movie, but still, I mean, it's got Bruce Willis in it. It's a very popular
Say
film.
it's even just like Haley Joel Osment. Like, okay, yes, no one probably knows who he is, but if you look back, I mean, he was the kid in Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit like that. Like and I immediately made that connection. I can't believe it's taken us this long to talk about it. Thank you for bringing that up. Did anybody
I haven't
else
seen that
besides
either.
Teagz and I notice that? That
I've never seen that movie.
oh so
I'm sorry, I
The
can't do
podcast
spooky things. I can't do spooky things. So I haven't watched anything in my childhood, okay?
oh my gosh. So Sixth Sense, the kid in Sixth Sense, which brings up
I
the
see
popular
dead
quote,
people.
"I see dead people."
Yeah, I
Um,
know that quote.
Yeah, that's him. The buddy that's the kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he plays in? That's not where I remember him from.
I mean, I just kind of knew him as the brother to Emily Osment, who was just in Hannah Montana.
Oh my god. Where
No,
do
I
I,
am-
where, what movie do I know that dude from? Not movie or show. What do I know him from?
You should know him from The Sixth Sense.
I don't. Okay, I've seen The Boys, so he's in The Boys, but that's not where I recognized him first. He's in Jurassic World?
What? Really?
Oh, the old ones. Yeah, he's the.
No, yeah, well, the old ones. And then there's, what is this? There's a show in 2020? Okay, I'm not getting that off track right here.
But yeah, that was one of the first things I noticed about the movie was that he was in the movie, and I was like, maybe it will be good, and then nope, was totally wrong. Totally wrong. But it was I don't know. I just don't see this movie having a budget for all of these like well-established actors. You know what I'm saying? Like, does anybody else feel that?
Extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile.
Have you actually watched that movie?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. I actually haven't.
You haven't?
I tried to watch it, and it was too boring. And this is from me, who's obsessed with true crime.
I was kind of let down by it too.
So, I have established that we need to change our name to the Horror Virgin, where we make Soul watch scary movies, since you have clearly not seen any scary movies.
I've seen all of the original It. With Pennywise.
Have you seen the new ones?
Okay.
I've seen the new ones too, but I mean...
So, Tusk's budget was $3 million, and it made $1.9 million.
That is so sad.
Oh my god, Kevin Smith, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But that's the kind of shit you expect from Kevin Smith. You know, the dude's a stand-up guy, but you don't expect him to succeed. He makes his living off of not succeeding.
Oh my goodness.
That's what everybody loves about Kevin Smith, is he doesn't succeed.
Oh my god.
Do you see why I put the disclaimer at the beginning of Kevin Smith,
Yes.
I love you? Because this is just Bash Kevin Smith hour.
Kevin Smith is my type, you know? Old and rich.
But so, yeah, at the end of the movie they don't fix him, which irritates me. Because at the very least...
How are they gonna fix him?
Who's him?
Wallace. Like, they don't fix Wallace.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
Where's Wallace?
he's not totally, like, that's not all him. Like, that's mostly a suit. The only thing wrong with him is his arms are stitched and he's missing his legs, and, like, his tongue's gone. He's got the tusks.
I'm pretty sure that the
You
suit
know, there's
is
not
connected
that
to
much
him.
wrong with him. Just
Yeah,
like
not
he,
that
doesn't
much,
have
you know.
legs.
What I'm saying is,
doesn't have arms.
what I'm saying is
tongue.
there's not too much wrong with him to where he couldn't live a somewhat of a life. Okay.
There's holes in his mouth for the teeth.
At least better than living in a fucking broken down zoo eating fish.
You
right?
really do just stand here and do nothing. Yeah.
But
that was really that was really inhumane.
right.
I mean, and then there's like the flashback where like the lady, like his girlfriend says that like us crying proves that we're human, like it separates us from animals, and then it like ends on him crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it proves that, like, he's still there, and it's like that is just evil. Like, why wouldn't you just like end him? Like when they first find him, like after he kills the dude and he's like screaming, like I just get the vibes of like him like asking them to kill him, you know?
I guess, but see, if it were me, I would want you to at least try to repair me as best as you can.
No.
Okay,
Maybe it's just because I'm depressed, but like no.
I don't know. I think after going through all of that,
Yeah. That's just no.
Like, let me live
give an
somewhat of a
option.
normal life.
Like, write it on a piece of paper and put them next to each other, have him with his like fins. Put down which one do you want to live? Do you not want to live? If he can cognitively be like, I don't want to live, then you know, maybe bang. But
Yeah.
Like in high school, do you have a crush on me? Circle yes or no.
Do you want me to put a bullet in your brain? Circle yes or no.
Yes or no.
Or stab yes or no with your tusk.
Yeah.
do you think it would hurt the roof of his mouth when using his tusks?
Probably.
Banging his head down using those tusks.
Yeah.
That must be chipping up into his jaw.
right? And
Yeah.
I don't understand
'Cause,
how
like,
he could, like,
the
pierce the dude's flesh with those.
like Johnny Depp's character was talking about like how like when he was finding the bodies of like the failed walrus people, like they had holes in the roof of their mouths
Yeah.
where like the dude was trying to put the tusks in.
And how there was like a chipped piece of the, I think it was tibia?
Yeah, they were using the
Yeah.
tibia as the tusks.
Like, yeah.
Where is the tibia? What is a tibia?
That's like
That's
a leg bone, isn't
one
it?
of the bones in your lower leg, like in your shin area.
Yeah.
Ah.
So,
Oh, Bray's dead.
but did we all appreciate the irony? I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but he made his living interviewing quote unquote freaks, and
Yeah.
at the end
And then
he
he
is
turned
turned
into
into
one.
a freak,
Yeah.
put on
Where
display
people
for
go.
everyone to see,
Yeah.
which is what he did to everybody else.
I mean, he kind of deserved it. You be a shitty person, karma's gonna get you one way or
Yeah.
another. If it's turning you into a walrus, that's what
Okay.
sorry,
nature has in store.
My brain was mush by the end of the movie. I definitely was not able to think about the irony.
So, okay, so I get karma, but I don't think anybody does anything bad enough to go through that. Like, damn.
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
Okay, I'm thinking. Imagine the making of this movie. Just like even the people that had to make this suit, like the costume designers and the makeup artists.
How long do you think it took them to put that suit on him? How uncomfortable do you think it was? Do you think he was like hot?
And at what point did he, in the making of this movie, go, oh my god, why did I agree to this?
Yeah, what did I get myself into?
Literally.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith just needs to, he just needs to stick with the reality nerd culture shit.
Nah,
I remember talking about because
I think we
kind of
need
at the
more.
same time, I'm like, please make another movie like that. I know it's gonna cost you, buddy, but we need another.
But
You
we
want
need a different
another.
animal this time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Something that doesn't involve water. Water's too scary. Can it
I
be
don't know
like...
why the first thing that popped in my head
like a
was like
bird.
a wild cat, like a jaguar.
Oh, yes. Jaguars are so pretty. Yeah, but there's no way, like... I don't know. I feel like a walrus is, like, the perfect texture for skin, you know?
I mean,
Like,
I
you
guess.
can't make skin furry. It would just not be right, you know? Like, the suit wouldn't be
Yeah.
correct.
That is probably one of the grossest things in the entire movie for me is the suit was made out of skin, especially the face. Like on the side of the body there was a face.
Yeah.
There was
Mhm.
something
You
You could
about
see
that.
like
that
noses and ears.
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah. I was like,
I'd
okay,
read
just
never.
knowing that it's like a stitched piece of other skin, gross. The fact there's a face there, that just like took it to another level for me.
That's why when I first saw it, I just thought about mutants from this game, because, like,
yeah.
the faces on the sides.
Okay, I just think of Ed Gein and his like chairs and lamps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, I mean,
that's
the dude
really
is
a
a
way
serial
to
killer, so-
explain this movie is like if Ed Gein and like Human Centipede somehow became a thing together, but like Walrus.
But Walrus King.
That is a perfect description of this movie. And, you know, I don't like knocking Human Centipede because Human Centipede
I do.
was... Human Centipede was not a bad movie. It was just disgusting. Okay? The acting was good. There was not very much bad about that movie except for what it was about. Sorry, I had to defend Human Centipede against you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm disgusted.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen Human Centipede. I just hear about it.
No one
the theory of
deserves
it is just too
to
gross.
see Human Centipede. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy.
I think we should just use that as torture.
I say
Forced
this.
to watch Human Centipede.
I mean, that I'd be okay with that torture. I have the movie on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray.
It's old enough to be on VHS?
Oh yeah.
Icy's old enough to have VHS.
Hey,
So we're old enough for VHS too.
I never had a machine. I just had the tapes.
Oh my god, my parents still have one.
I used to have like a bunch of like Disney movies on VHS, but I
was
didn't
just
have
gonna
a
say, how else
VHS
did I watch
player.
The Little Mermaid and Lion King?
Okay, maybe on like my like pink Disney Princess TV. I think that was a VHS one, but like I
Probably.
only had that when I was like 8, and that was about it. I don't even remember it.
8, I love that.
Thank you. Back at my old house, which I'm pretty sure is haunted, which is why I couldn't watch scary things, because it was just too scary.
Well, thank God we moved.
No, like my old house.
Oh, okay.
My childhood house. Yeah. Fun
But-
times.
so to sum up this movie, would anybody like to sum up their rating of this movie?
Classic annoying American goes to Canada. Meets local with walrus kink. Plays with a walrus cock way too long. Gets amputated and then turns into a pet and then kills owner and then lives in zoo.
Perfect.
And there's a little bit of French in there too. I gave it a 5-star.
5-star. Okay, so on acting, what would everybody rate on a scale of 1 to 10 the quality of acting?
I think the acting is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, as much of a horrible movie as it was, the acting actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I would give the acting probably an 8.5 out of 10 myself.
I was gonna say probably a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7.
I gave it 10 out of 10 because I suck at critiquing things.
Okay.
So
But the CGI, that was like a 2.
okay, that was the next one. So graphics on a scale of 1 to 10.
2.
Yeah, it's down on the lower side because that uncircumcised
Uncircumcised
penis is just too much.
I'm going to give it
All uncircumcised penises are too much.
I'm going to give it a 3.5
3.5. Okay.
because there were aspects of it that were pretty like good. Like the way his leg was amputated at the beginning, they made that look realistic. So there were aspects of it that were actually kind of realistic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I can really judge the CGI because I wasn't really paying attention to the CGI. It wasn't like it was a Marvel movie where I'm watching all the explosions. Because, you know, those you can definitely tell if it's a good CGI or not. But I don't know, I wasn't really paying
explosions. That's
explosions.
peak
Yeah, I mean,
CGI right there.
I don't know. If you really pay attention to Marvel movies, you can see how horrible they are.
There's so many mistakes. Like just their theory of them. I hate Marvel movies.
So
Oh, okay.
so whoa, we're gonna change that subject right now before you get ostracized. Keeping in mind, I'm going to see the new Spider-Man this weekend.
Okay, but Tom Holland. Any
Dreamy.
Spider-Man movie has my heart.
So, plot. On a scale of 1
Was
to
there
10.
a plot? Because I was not focusing on it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would have to give the plot a 1 because it was just
Oh my God.
absolutely stupid.
I was gonna say like a 6. Like, it was unique. I'll give it that. There was
Okay.
a plot. Did it make sense? Not really. There
It
were
was a
so
plot
many
only a
questions.
mother could love. I would give it a 5. I liked the like flashback aspect of it. That was pretty cool. I love when stories do flashbacks.
Okay,
Like,
why
add
have we haven't
context.
even talked about the fact that like where it pans over and the friend and the girlfriend are together? Was anyone else shocked about that part, or
No.
was that just
No.
me that suspected?
No, I
Okay,
expected that immediately.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was kind of
The
horrible
goofy
people.
friend always gets the hot girlfriend.
But it was quite overall rating of the movie.
5 stars.
On a scale of 1
Do
to 10.
recommend. Oh. 9.
You are no longer allowed to rate movies.
I told you I can't rate things. I'm here for comic relief.
I would personally give it a 7 out of 10. No, we're gonna go with a 6 out of 10. I would give it a 6 out of 10 overall. And that's because it was indeed funny, and it was entertaining.
Yeah, I was gonna say also a 6 out of 10. It was horrible, but I feel like if you are able to sit through that amount of gore, it's a must watch. You'll probably never watch it again, but you say you watched it.
Right. Right.
I give it a 5 only because, like I said, I'm scarred and it's going to be stuck in my head for life, so they did good on that part.
What's the part that scarred you the most, Bray?
I think the same things Teagz said, like, the way the suit was just, like, made out of, like... I don't know, it was just fucking weird, it was gross.
We all know the part that
I
scarred
went into
Soul the
the
most was
movie-
water.
I hate
I
water.
went into the movie knowing like the plot and that he gets turned into a walrus, but I don't know, when it like cut over and like panned back to him in the walrus suit, that was shocking to me. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, I think when he got pulled into the water and I saw the other dead walrus, I'm like, oh my god, like, he's done this multiple times.
Right. And yes, so like Teagues just pointed out, I knew what the plot was and I knew what was happening. But whenever I first saw the suit and the walrus, I was not expecting it to be like that. I was more or less I don't know what I was expecting, but it just wasn't that.
I expect nothing. Can't be disappointed if you're not expecting anything.
So went into this with no think, left with no think.
Braid empty. No thoughts. I love the stereotypes of Canadians, though. That was hilarious for me. It was amazing. I was just focusing on that. Just I don't know, just Canada in the movie was just funny. Okay.
I like the part where he goes to hand him the guns and the one guy doesn't want it.
And he's like,
And you
"You're
say
American,
something like,
aren't
aren't you American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of American are you? Kind of doesn't like guns. So it not only stereotyped the
American
Canadians, but it also stereotyped the Americans.
Yeah.
Of
It
course,
was
that's not really a
offensive to
stereotype.
everyone.
I don't really think the Canadian stereotypes were offensive. They're just funny, you know.
I'm sure there are going to be Canadians out there that are offended by it. I mean, are we? No.
But
The
to be
Frenchies.
fair, we are
The
the
French
French. Oh, they're definitely going to be offended by it. The French are offended by everything. To be honest with you. I mean,
Well, all right,
Quebec doesn't want to
guys.
be considered Canada anyway. Fine.
Does anyone have anything else to add to this?
My brain is still mush.
Overall, I recommend watching it. I mean, I
Yeah.
recommend it.
Don't go to old men's houses if their names are alliterations.
Yes, do not do that. Don't do that.
Don't hold long things in your hand if you don't know what they are. And when you learn what they are, put them down.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to sum it up. Just recommend watching this movie if your stomach can take it, but don't go into old men's house.
Yeah.
Houses.
Just
Don't trust men.
don't
Men don't
follow
trust.
up on an advertisement that you found hanging on a
Found in a
bathroom
urinal.
wall next to a urinal. Okay?
Yeah.
Just don't.
Also-
don't make fun of people, and you won't
Yeah.
have bad karma.
Yeah. Thank you, Bray. That's a
Also,
good
how did he
point.
get the sign up that high if he's in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
How did he get it above the urinal?
Okay, so he's not
Questions
really
need answering.
disabled.
I know, but he's pretending to be.
And that was the first thing I noticed whenever he was in the wheelchair. His legs were crossed.
Were
Well,
they?
Yeah,
Disabled people can cross their legs,
Yes, but
but
they lift their legs with their hands.
no, I get that, but why? Why would you in your house?
Because you look fancy. Why would you have your crotch open to the world?
For who are you trying to please?
Well, he was talking about his walrus friend. He didn't want to accidentally get a boner, you know? It's embarrassing.
You think he replaced his with a walrus penis?
Oh, please, no.
That's why he's in the wheelchair.
This is too big to carry around.
Wow, what a great way to end this podcast.
Alrighty, well,
Sorry, YouTube.
thanks for anybody who's watching this. We will see y'all in the next one. Eat your chicky nuggies.